that bitch for 6 days. I couldn't. I gotta clean up my son shit and the dog shit, man, please. I was so irritated. I don't see how people deal with 2 kids. 2 under 2 is crazy. But all right, y'all. Tap the screen. Spirit, ancestors, and angels on my high side. Give me messages of clarity, insight, guidance, and truth. What y'all want to know? Because yesterday's energy was on point. 5 of Cups. Somebody could be in regret, disappointment. Y'all disappointed in somebody. Somebody could have let you down. Or this is somebody who's disappointed at themselves for letting you down. King of Swords. This person could be an air sign. Yeah, somebody feels they're disappointed, or they feel like they regret whatever they did to you. I feel like this is somebody who wants to work on something, or they want to have a conversation about like how to make something right, or make something. It's like somebody wants your forgiveness. But I feel like you're just not open to it. You're just somebody, you're reclaiming your peace, pulling your power back. I feel like that's what's going on collectively at this time. So y'all definitely got somebody who's in regret. They let you down, they disappointed you. They want to talk about it, they want to have a conversation. I feel like their intellect just isn't there though. Like maybe this person is smart, but like emotionally, intellectual, no, like not at all. They can't have the conversation that you want to have. They can't have that same conversation with you. Like it's giving me one-sided. Like this is somebody who will give you, or they will use money as a way to impress you or to get you back. But I just feel like you're just starting, the things that you would want from this person, you're starting to give yourself. So it's almost as if this person's no longer serving a purpose. This is somebody who thinks like gifts and things can like win you back or something like that, or it's just easier to give to you in ways that they find suitable. But it's something that I don't know if you want like more emotions from this person, but I feel like this is somebody who feels like they're the catch, so they don't need to overpour. They just, you should take what they give. Yeah, but you're tired of that. I feel like you're tired of that. You're tired of that kind of those type of situations, honestly. And I get it. That's annoying. Like, you feel like what you give is enough, but honestly, the Magician with the 10 of Pentacles, this person could be manifesting you back since you walked away. I definitely feel like y'all left this person alone, or you're about to leave this person alone. It's just like you're no longer settling, is what it's giving me. But I feel like this is somebody who's like, y'all gotta understand the real Bonnie Bennett. Facts. I was just talking about this. I watched Vampire Diaries over 8 times. All 8 seasons and the originals. I've like rewatched that shit. I'm almost running out of fingers. And you might just make me watch it again, but I think they took it off Netflix. Yes. Yes, I love Vampire Diaries. Me too. But anywho, I feel like this is somebody who has spiritual rank as well. I feel like they have gifts just like you. Like if you're a great manifester, you only attracted somebody that was more like yourself. They just have lessons to learn. They're not perfect. You're not perfect either. You're trying to teach them what your love languages are. They're not willing to like step off of their own little pedestal to give you what you want, because they feel like what they give is enough. But I think your thing is like you want more out of this person, because I see every king out here except for the King of Cups. So this person is honest. They're not lying to you in any type of way. This person isn't insecure in any way. This person is very financially stable. But I don't see a King of Cups. So this person lacks emotional intelligence. Like when it comes to communication, working with you, giving to you in whatever capacity it looks like financially. But when it comes to emotions, they're just not there yet. And I feel like that's the piece that you want. Because crazy enough, even though the King of Cups isn't here, the Queen of Cups is, which lets me know that you are more emotionally invested into the connection. This person may be financially invested. They may be invested in the long term, because we do have the King of Swords here, which is somebody who prefers to be single but is willing to commit in what ways they feel comfortable with. So I just feel like that's the disconnect here. Now with the Magician here, I feel like this is somebody who wants stability, but in a traditional way. Like they don't see family as like happily ever after. They see family as in like building, owning things, starting up a business, and they see things like that. They don't really see, like, this is somebody, if they had the option to choose between the 10 of Cups, which is family, contentment, happiness, like happily ever after is what it's giving me, or the 10 of Pentacles, which is more like kingdom, owning shit, having a lot of money, they would choose the 10 of Pentacles, because they would rather be financially stable and create wealth than like choose happiness. Like this is somebody who would stay married simply because of tradition rather than happiness. Like, this is somebody who would choose money over their happiness any day. Um, and I'm the type of person, I want both. I want my money and my happiness. Like, well, I gotta choose both. And you're not gonna tell me I gotta choose. Like, I don't know. The two of wands and like cards like that, energy like that, just make me feel like maybe you do have to choose. Like, maybe you don't get it all. But I don't. Maybe I'm delusional to the point where I don't really feel like that. Bitch, I'm gonna get my way. I'm going to get my way. But this person is manifesting you back since you walked away, since you've like kind of turned them down. I feel like you guys have been focused on your own money, creating your own stability, because you guys may have been juggling in your own way. Don't like remember the Queen of Cups came out for you, so you're like emotionally stable. Oh, thank you, sister. How are you, girl? I hope you've been well. So it's like you already know how to give to yourself emotionally. You already know how to like you know how to make yourself feel good. You just want this person to add on to what you've already what you already pour into yourself. But Spirit is saying it's really time for you to just like walk away emotionally. Like, you can still give this person your time. You can still show up in a relationship, but don't overgive emotionally, because I feel like it's taxing on your heart. But Spirit is really putting you in a position to focus on your money and ground financially. This is about creating your own stability so that y'all can come together and create the Ten of Pentacles. Emotionally, I feel like this is somebody who may grow emotionally over time. I'll see if the King of Cups comes out, but I know if it comes out, it's only because this person's going to grow to be emotionally available. Like, this isn't something that's just going to be natural. So this person could almost be an emperor, but not quite, because the emotions aren't there. But the Magician and the Ten of Pentacles is almost like, I feel like there's an ancestor or God itself, themselves, himself is like bringing something together, something greater than you may even be able to see at this time. So I'm just feeling like the connection that you guys are in is only pushing you to grow, to be more stable financially, and learning how to work with this person. Like, somebody you're learning how to not be over emotional. See, the only thing about the Queen of Cups, and I almost forgot about this, but the only thing about the Queen of Cups is that she can be over emotional. She can over give, so much so that it's like crippling. It's kryptonite to her heart. Like, over giving is definitely kryptonite to a Queen of Cups, because it's okay to give, but over giving is a problem, because at a certain extent you start taking inventory. You start saying, I did this, I gave them that, I was doing this and that, and then you start thinking about, well, where's the return on my investment? And you're not getting that. So it is taxing on your heart when you're over giving in a capacity that you're not receiving in. So Two of Pentacles with the three of Pentacles, somebody you're learning how to work with others so that you don't juggle everything. Maybe you're always willing to give your heart because you feel like you've always had, or because you've always had to be the person to carry everything financially. So the only thing that you do have to give or have room to give is your heart. So Spirit is bringing like or collaboration could be very big in this season, especially as we move out of retrograde and things are less confusing and cloudy for you. I feel like you guys are the things could be balancing out with the Two of Pentacles, or you're trying to maintain some type of balance. But I'm seeing like your focus is in more than one place, which is not a bad thing, because it's not a bad juggle. It's just that you have to learn how to delegate. Because I feel like a lot of my collective are business owners. I feel like y'all do have the spirit of entrepreneurship. In whatever way that looks like, y'all, whatever service it is that you're providing or whatever it is that you're doing is definitely coming with the help of others. But you have to be able to receive that. The Two of Pentacles to the Three of Pentacles is like, all right, cool. So I know that I can maintain two on my own, but if I can get three with help from others, because the idea is to always have more. Like, yeah, you can always have two and juggle them on your own. Maybe you're good at balancing that. But it's like, I'm hearing, y'all know that scripture where three or more are gathered, the Spirit of God is there. Actually, it's two or more, but it's giving me, yeah, where two or more are gathered, the Spirit of God is, the Spirit of God is near, or close or present, however you want to put it. But either way, what I'm saying is that when you learn how to collaborate with others, you can magnetize the blessing. Like, you definitely, not magnetize, multiply is what I meant to say. Maybe you'll be, hey girl, hey sister, it's good to see you. So maybe things will come in, better, like more stable for you. Eight of Swords, Knight of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Four of Wands. Somebody I feel like you're only in your head about love. Like, everything else seems to be like really grounded for you, really stable for you. Hey love. Seem like I feel like you're good. It's just in the department of your heart. Like somebody you really do desire marriage. What you really desire is partnership. Like I don't want to say marriage and then make it like super traditional, because marriage means different things to different people. Like I'm the type, I'll get married, and as long as it's a vow between me, you, and God, and we have witnesses there, like our family, friends, and people who want to celebrate us. Because that's what this is right here. It's two people coming together, and then they got their support. Like they got their support. They got their support. It's just people coming together to celebrate union and the vow between two souls. So you may see it like that. Somebody, you may see it as contractual. Like it needs to be, we need to be doing business plans. Like I'm marrying you because I'm going to inherit this and you're going to inherit that, and then we're going to come together and build this big empire. Like marriage means something different to everybody, but whatever this is, you feel like it's taking a little bit longer, or taking longer than you expected it to. But with the Knight of Pentacles, it's just like, it's a reason why things are taking a little bit longer. Like I feel like God isn't going to give you half of what you want, or like it's just never going to happen like that. Like when you have a desire of your heart, God is truly going to fulfill that desire. And sometimes when it comes to desire, it takes a little bit more time, y'all. You got to think about what you're asking for. You got to think about what it is that you're trying to cultivate. Like real true partnership isn't grown overnight, y'all. It isn't. Is not grown overnight. So I feel like that's something that you're beginning to have peace with. That's what this Four of Swords is giving me. Like you're learning that some things just really take time. But the Four of Swords gives me like peace, like finding peace and it's just like understanding divine timing and then respecting it. Because it's one thing to understand something and how it works, but it's another thing to like fully respect it. And I think you guys are learning to respect God's timing on things. Honestly, I think that's what's happening here. Let me not say think, that is what's happening. Eight of Swords, because you guys spend a lot of time in your head about love, but it's only your inner child. Your inner child is with the Tower. I feel like you guys are realizing how much your inner child may be holding you back, because some of y'all do have this big vision, or yeah, you guys are holding on to a vision that you had when maybe you were a child or maybe a teenager. Like you have this perspective of love or vision of love, and you're holding on to it, but it's only holding you back. Mentally, it's holding you back. Now, I wouldn't say financially, physically, or any other aspect, but mentally, it's definitely holding you back. Because if you are blinded by what is really there and you can only see your own perspective, then it is kind of tainting what it is that could come in, because the Tower is there. So it's like whenever you do try and set something, or whenever you do try and invest into something, or you go in head first. Like you don't even put your foot in there to see if the temperature's straight. You go head first. But that's creating a tower for you, because the Page of Cups is childish, y'all. Like yes, it's innocent, yes, it's pure, but it knows nothing. Especially with the Eight of Swords here with the Page of Cups, it's like you're just going in, but prematurely. Like you're not thinking, you're not paying attention to your surroundings, you're not being realistic about the situation. So that can be, it's almost like stepping into something new, but prematurely. So your expectations could be a little tainted, all right? You got to be a little bit more realistic, y'all. Especially if you're a water sign. Four of Pentacles. Yes, somebody you're holding on to a vision of yours that you maybe had as a child. And I'm not saying that you can't get it. I just think you got to be a little bit more realistic about it now that you're an adult and you know how things really work. Okay, and you guys are learning patience as well. There's nobody or nothing more impatient than a child. Like my son, like y'all know when you be out, and those of y'all that got kids, y'all know, and yes, I'll be live later, but those of y'all that have kids, y'all know nothing irritates me more when my child say they hungry. Now my son don't do it, but I done babysat other people's kids, and I done fed them. Then I had snacks and juice and shit, and you wait till we get out in public and you like, I'm hungry. Bitch, who just fed you? Then you're going to keep saying it because I'm not doing it when you want me to. So nobody's more impatient than a child. Like they expect things to happen right when they want it. They don't really understand the capacity of how it can come off as irritating, or the process that you got to go through to get those things done. They just want it done. And I feel like we can be that way with God sometimes, and I don't think he sees it as a bad thing, because God does tells us to remain childlike. God does tells us to stay in that energy of hope and faith, in understanding that everything that your desires will be fulfilled. Long story short, girl, I backhand the fuck out of my child so fast, because if you ever say I'm starving again, you gonna feel the back of your stomach. By the time I get done with you, you're gonna feel the back of your stomach. Oh, no, I'm a black mama. Because if you say you hungry, you finna you in your the back of your stomach finna be connected. You thought you felt hunger, you finna feel something real. Yes, you are. Don't ever that. Yeah, I gotta make sure I write that one down because my son gotta know. He gotta know. Mm-mm. I like the system we got going on. I ask him, I say, hey, do you want to eat? And he'll say, eat. And that's how I know he hungry. But if I say, hey, do you want to eat? And he just look at me, he not hungry. So let me ask you. Don't tell me. I got you. I know you ain't ate. I know it's been a few hours since you had something. I know how your little body work. You poop like 3 times a day. So that means that them first 2 meals throughout the day, you done already pooped that. I get it. We're on the same page. All right. I'm just checking temperatures. Let me do the asking around here. Let me do the telling. Cause child, kids will embarrass you in a heartbeat. Like you ain't already fed them. But now that I think about it, I can understand why in Matthew they talk about or God or Jesus was like overly big in implementing how important it is to remain childlike. Because I don't think it aggravates God when we want certain things. He's just gonna keep showing us that it's on his time. Like that's how we do as parents. Like when our kids ask for something, we be like, okay, I hear you. I still got to cook the food. I still got to prepare it. Then I can't give it to you right when it's done because it's too hot. You get what I'm saying? Like that's how mindful God is. And so when I'm like interpreting and understanding what it means to remain childlike, it's like let God do his job, because then you grow to understand like, oh, like, and being in the child's perspective, like, oh, mom didn't give me the food right when I wanted it because she had to cook it. And then when she finished cooking it, I couldn't eat it because it was too hot. Like you understand? Like I know my son understands that now. Like when I finish making him food, he'll be like, hot? Is it hot? And I'll say, yep, it's hot. And then he'll just go play until I bring him food. So, you know, I think that's just an understanding that comes with time. So whatever this is that you're waiting on God to deliver to you, and most of the time it's matters of the heart, because you got to think like, y'all, we in this society that we live in, we get money down pat. We understand that if we don't work, we don't eat. We understand that if we are not putting in some type of work or we don't have some type of system, yeah, that's common sense. Yeah. And we don't basically, a man that don't work is a man that don't eat. Whether you woman, man, however you want to put it, if you don't work, if you don't have any type of income, if you're not even if you got them using the system the best way that you can, if you don't have some type of program going to bring in consistent income, you do not live a life of flow. Like it just doesn't work. I think when we have all of those things down pat, the only other thing that we are, curious about is our love life. Like, okay, am I going to be doing this thing alone? Is there somebody coming along this journey? Do I get to share my light with somebody other than my friends and people in my day-to-day passing? Do I get to share my loving with people other than my family and my friends? And so I get it. But love is so sacred and marriage is so sacred that you can't just mishandle it. You cannot mishandle it. Because you got to think the same way God wouldn't allow somebody to mishandle you, the same way, if we're talking about divinity, right? That other person can't be mishandled either, because if it's in alignment and it's what God gives you, it's going to be right on time, because you're not going to mishandle what it is that God sent. Will there be lessons to learn? Absolutely. Like it's not going to be perfect or anything like that, but will you know how to take care of that person? Will you know and understand that, okay, I need to take a step back, get out of my own way. Let me just, so you'll have that type of discernment and grace. And so sometimes you do got to kiss a few frogs. Sometimes you do, because those frogs taught you lessons. Like, one of the best things I've heard in these past couple of days, and it's common sense, but we don't really internalize these things. But light beings cannot teach you toxic lessons. Like once you have matured and you've advanced and you've grown from a low vibrational space, I can no longer teach lessons out of low vibration. I can share wisdom, but I cannot teach you those lessons. Like if I'm not a karmic person, I can't teach you karmic lessons. So sometimes if you haven't learned those things, God is most definitely going to allow. He will allow it because he know it won't break you, only make you stronger for what it is that you've asked for. But karmics will be in your path because you still have certain things to learn, lessons that you may have avoided, lessons that you try to, avoid. So, yeah. So right now, honestly, energetically, I'm not really picking up on too much, and that's a really good thing. I love that y'all's finances are together. I love that I love that you all take very good care of yourselves. I love that y'all love yourselves. But codependency is still like loving yourself. You can still love yourself and still be codependent. Like, just because you're codependent doesn't mean that you don't love yourself. That just means that you haven't really healed from anxiety. All right, because that's all codependency is. I'm anxious now because I feel like you're going to leave me. So what does this mean for us? What is hey, how you doing? Like, what does this mean? You get what I'm saying? Like, that's how codependency shows up. But it doesn't mean that you don't love yourself or anything like that. Like, it doesn't mean that. Does that mean that you have more learning and growing to do? Absolutely. Because you have to learn how to detach. So I do feel like a lot of the collective energy may have attachment issues. And that's okay because you're learning. That's the only reason why I want to say it's okay. It's because you're learning. I feel like that's what you're working on now. Healing your inner child. I do see a lot of inner child healing that's happening at this time. You're learning how to nurture your inner child and not really depend on somebody else to do it. Like, once you hit a certain age, and I hate to say it like this, but it's the truth. But actually, I don't hate to say it, but I just know that it can kind of taint some hearts. But once you get to a certain age and not a certain age. Once you get to a certain maturing, you become responsible for your own healing. Because age is not an age thing. Hey, somebody in the comments saying start posting this on YouTube. Okay. I've been saying God has been on me about a lot of stuff. Oh, girl, we got to sit down and talk because so much has happened in like literally like when did I just see you? What day did I meet you? What day was that? Sunday. I literally just seen you 3 days ago, and so much has happened in 3 little days. But you're right. I do. I'm gonna add that to my to-do list. I have been shaking things off oh my God, how was the cleanse? Because somebody else texted me yesterday that did the cleanse. I had one for you and for another friend of mine. And she was like, it did what it needed. She said, I'm getting calls and paragraphs. Oh, Lord. Hey, so those of y'all, I told y'all the other day when I was on live, and those same people may not be in here, but I told y'all, I be seeing when people need cleanses, y'all. So get you a cleanse. It's the truth. That's what I specialize in, y'all. That's like, if I could just do one thing for the rest of my life, I would not mind cleansing people, and I would do it for free because I know that that's a part of the work that God has assigned to my path. Like, cleansing is my specialty. Ooh, not in there getting radio silence. My friend said that. She said that many people had been pulling on her energy after she did the cleanse. And she said her boundaries just got like out of nowhere. Like, she just started prioritizing her health, her mental health, her boundaries. She was like, it just came as like, it was like a second nature to her. Like, it was just like a no-brainer. Like, shit, fuck no. Like, she just started saying no more. Like, I don't know. I love that for y'all because y'all know I add cord cutting to my baths. So I couldn't even think of their names. It hit everybody differently. Like, I had one person tell me when they got in the water, they started crying immediately. I'm like, I don't know what I did. But it was a good cry. And she said life been good ever since. She said it almost worked like a road opener for her. And y'all, sometimes that will happen, y'all. That's all a road opener is a cleansing, because we be blocked off or we stand in our own way and we don't understand the spiritual gunk that we carry day to day. And most of the time, y'all, it's not even our shit, y'all. It be the access that we give other people. Like, if you got a friend that's always calling you like, oh my God, let me tell you what happened. Every time they tell you what happened, it's something negative. You never have anything good to share. You don't have any improvements. And if you do have bad shit going on, what are you doing about it? It's just like you're just stuck. Like she said, you put some glamour in the bottle, I even look better. I'm not gonna lie, I add glamour to everything that I do, except for like hexes and curses removed. Like when I remove hexes and curses, no. But cleansing, yes, I do add herbs that like for feminine empowerment or masculine empowerment, whatever you embody. But I always add things like, as I cleanse you, I restore you. So it's not only just stripping things away and then leaving you empty, it's cleansing and restoring. So, and protection, cleansing, restoring, and protection. So that was an all-in-one. She said, I get it back tenfold, it never fails. Well, that's confirmation. Listen, this is I don't take somebody and tell them to come see me and get on the live and talk and say all this. It's just that's her testament. And anybody that's gotten my services will tell you that. But yeah, y'all, cleanse yourself. Like, let me tell y'all, this is the best way I could put it. And I'm not saying I don't give a fuck if you do your own cleansings, but you should most definitely be cleansing once a month at bare minimum. And that's just if you are in day-to-day life. You're not even into the spiritual shit like reading cards and dealing with people spiritually. That's just at a basic level. Going to work, going out grocery shopping, going to the gym. You should be doing a intense 3-day cleansing once a month. Period. You wash your ass every day. What they say, you been digging in your ass? If you wait, spirit say something, everybody don't wash their ass every day. They ain't got nothing to do with me. You should. But if like physical hygiene and spiritual hygiene go hand in hand, y'all, you cannot neglect your spirit and then be wondering why you feel heavy. Like, I know that God has been telling me to cleanse, and I overslept for work today. You want to know why I overslept? Because my energy is heavy. I know my energy heavy. I know it is. I know I need to cleanse. I know I need to set aside, and I'm actually going to do that this weekend while my son is gone. I am going to do my 3-day cleansing while he's not there, so I can just woosah, get out the tub and have my own personal time. But I recognize when my energy has just been like, okay, you at your point now where you need to cleanse. You read for people, you help people, you always pouring into others. You need to cleanse because you filtering out their energy. Yes. Whatever works for you. But at the least, at the very minimum, you should be cleansing once a month. When you do that, I don't care. Whatever resonates for you, don't ask me when you should do it, when you feel called to. Because if I tell you everything, then I'm only taking away your intuition. At what point do you listen to yourself? So don't ask me no questions like that, because I'm not being rude. But if you ask me, I'm going to tell you, what do you think? That's just, you cannot depend on readers. You cannot depend on prophets. You cannot depend on therapists to always have every answer. You have to, at some point, go within and trust yourself enough to provide you some type of insight at some point. Thank you. Thank y'all. But yeah, so energetically, I'm not really saying nothing crazy. I'm not even mad at this energy. It's beautiful energy, honestly, because I feel like everybody's like owning their healing. You're not wearing it. You're not a victim of it. You're just owning it and understanding that some things take time. I think you guys are, if anything, I see like a newfound respect for God, like reverence. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's called reverence. So you got there. I'm seeing a newfound like respect and reverence for God, and I love that for y'all. I absolutely do. I do. I love that for y'all as a collective. So not saying nothing too crazy. Of course, we'll get into more like tea and what's going on and what you need to know. But I only bring one little deck of cards with me when I come to work. You don't know how you feel about what? Hey, girl. If you resonate with what? Spirit just said it makes you feel uncomfortable. And sometimes you got to be uncomfortable. Like, you cannot sit in this reverence for God. You should, though. Like, you should always be thankful, because if you really it makes you uncomfortable because you're disconnected from yourself. So reverence for God. So look at Psalms 46. Psalms 46 says God is within, right? So if you don't feel reverence for God, that means that you don't respect or really love yourself. And I know you're going to say that's too far, because I hear you. But it is that deep. It most definitely is. If you don't have reverence and respect for God, then I can only imagine how you feel about yourself at a deep level. So I'm sorry, but y'all know I'm gonna be honest with y'all at all times, but it's the truth. It's the truth. God is within, right? So when we say trust our intuition and things like that, those answers are in our heart. For everybody, we don't hear this. I know when I hear from God, I don't hear this manly, masculine voice. I don't. I don't know. I don't even know how to fucking explain it. Like, it's really hard to put into words. But um I know that anytime that I've ever had any type of issues, anytime I really truly needed help, I've always had to go within and sit with myself. And the longer I sat with myself, the more clarity I receive. So I have a reverence for myself. I respect myself. I love myself because I understand that God is operating through this vessel. That's what true reverence looks like. That's what true respect looks like. So the reason why you don't know if you resonate with it is because you haven't really embarked on that journey and path yet. It's not really resonating because you're not there yet. And that's okay. It comes with time. It was a point of time where I wasn't there yet. Yeah. It just sounds like a voice. Like I don't know how to, like, if people would say, how do I know God is talking to me? The best way I can explain it is it doesn't rush you. It doesn't make you feel anxious. Like, God's voice is gonna be like, hurry up and go do it. Hurry up and go do this. God's voice will never rush you. Because God's so graceful, he'll let you stand in your own way. He'll be like, all right, well, he, she, they, it, however you see God, I'll just say he, because it's conditioning. God will be like, all right, well, don't you know that if you continue to stand in your way, you're going to continue to delay this, right? And you just be like, so this and this is and that, and this is what I think, and this is what I feel, and just prideful and ego and all of that. And then you just start realizing, like, oh dang, like, I've really been standing in my own way. Oh dang, God was really telling me this, like, and I wasn't listening. Or my inner voice, my inner self, which is still God, your highest self is God. He said, I agree, I do agree. Well, I'm glad you were vocal about that, because sometimes it's not even that it's not even that we don't understand something. It's just that we've never had anybody explain it to us or breaking down for us. Like, and that happens a lot of time with people who start podcasts, people who are leaders in the church, people who hold these who I can't stand people who build communities based off of um your own, like, what's the word for that, but you only do it because it makes you feel like you're doing something, accomplishing something, but you're really not helping nobody. Like, you got a problem when somebody asks you a question you don't really want to explain, and you're really not drawing people closer to God. So what are you doing? Just to say you got a group, just to say you're a leader, just to say you're a deacon, just to say you got a podcast, like, just because you feel like somebody give a fuck about what you're talking about? No. And the crazy thing is, a lot of lost people will listen to that bullshit. The blind leading the blind. But no, you ain't never. You can always voice and say how you feel. I either can give you insight, or I'm just like, hey, whatever suits you. Yeah. I think it's because people try and make it seem like God is a human. God is not human. God is just what we call all knowing in spirit. But God, to me, looks like my highest self. One thing I will always encourage y'all to do is to read your word, but read it from your own revelation. You say, God, give me peace, sound mind, and give me the revelation from what it is that you direct me to read. I couldn't understand the Bible until I read it in New Living Translation. I can't read King James Version. We don't even talk like that no more. This ain't the time of Shakespeare and shit like that. Niggas ain't talking like that. I didn't even like to play Shakespeare because I didn't like how them niggas was talking. We don't, that's not our language. That's not who we are. That's not where we are in this century, in this time, or in this space. If you really want to understand what it is that you're reading, you read from a level of comprehension. So read New Living Translation, read the English Standard Version. And when I tell you, it would change your whole trajectory on how you view God, how you view the Word of God, how you view the Bible. Even if you read the Torah or all them other books and spiritual realizations, you can even, the more I grow spiritually, the more I feel like I relate I relate very closely to Buddhism. Now, do I worship and Buddha? Not, no, I don't. But when I read books from like Buddhism and things like that, the Torah, I get it, because they talk about like self-realization, healing self, listening to self, cleansing self. Like, it's all about self. So I get it. I relate to it. It resonates with me. But all that worshiping and stuff, I ain't there. Hey, that's not my thing. That's not my thing. Yeah, I like that too. I like how we all have advice and guidance for each other. Because you got to think, y'all, we all on the same path. It just looks different. We all have different lessons to learn. We may not all be going in the same direction, but or we may not all be going to the same place, but we are definitely headed in the same direction, and that is ascension at the end of the day. So we all are ultimately trying to reach the same place, which is our highest selves. Like, that's all. Like, that's it. That's all. Nothing grand, but it may not look the same for everybody. So, always be willing to take feedback. And that's what I really love about my collective. People who don't even agree with what I agree with, they can still sit and listen to me because it's an opportunity to learn. And I'm the same way. I'll listen to you until you stop making sense. Some monks, like 4 years ago, I was in Piedmont Park. That's when I lived in Atlanta. And some monks came up to me. They're very nice people. They stink, but they're very nice people. I think they the ones that don't wear deodorant and shit like that. That shit weird to me. But they were really nice people. God said, you didn't have to say that. I'm sorry. You right. He right. I did not have to say that. I said, you didn't have to say that. Like, that was extra. I'm sorry. But they gave me like a stack of books, and one of them was Self-Realization. I don't know who the author is, but it's a really good book. Like, if you ever want to just get a good read like books on self-realization. Like, because it's going to connect you to your inner self. You got to think the only reason why people aren't connected to themselves is because everything in this world is getting you to be outside of yourself. Like, any way to get you out. Like, let me tell y'all something. If your schedule is 12-hour shifts, and you got kids and you got bills to pay, at what point in time do you have time to go within? At what time do you have time to go within? Like, truly sit with yourself and detox. It doesn't happen because you're regulated. Your body is on a schedule. You have a routine that's set inside the world. You've committed your spirit, your energy, and your time into the world. So you don't have time to sit with self. You don't have time to self-realize, because all you realize is that tomorrow you got to be to work at 4 o'clock in the morning. You don't get off to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you done made your money, and you done made your money for the day. By the time you get home, you got to wash your ass, still eat, and then you still got to get in the bed. And then don't be one of the people who care about their health just a little bit, so you want to go to the gym, or you want to go for a walk or something like that, so you don't just be a fat fuck at work. Like, everything about this world is to get you to be outside of yourself, because if I can get you to stay here on this vibration, y'all want to know? I just had a download, and I'm going to say it out loud. I think that the more low vibrational spirits that they have, and that's what true health is, the more low vibrational spirits that they can get to stay here at this level, the more they can feed whatever matrix this is. Our souls feed the matrix. That's what I truly believe. So if I can get you to never ascend, never reach your highest self, always play in my game, you'll never reach your highest self. So I know that. Think about it. The more souls that ascend, the less they have to feed whatever this matrix is. Souls energy is what feeds it. And if you're giving your energy to our jobs, giving your energy to our systems, our factions, our beliefs, then you're feeding what it is that I've built. But if you dare to go outside of that and ascend, and that's one less soul. That's one less soul. It's almost like a war between like God and whatever this low vibrational shit is. Yeah. Because in a form or in a way, I don't wanna go too deep. These be conversations we're gonna save for another time. But to a form and in a way, you are selling your soul. You most definitely are. Like, you think you ain't gotta go sign off to this big ass record label to go sell your soul. Like, no, that's one of many ways you can do it. But when you sign that contract for that job that you know didn't suit your needs, because you also are a family person and you know you value family time, you seen it as a sacrifice, but God never told you that. I'm just saying. So when you start being obedient, you'll start looking at sacrifices like it's disgusting. Because that's how I look at sacrifices. Sacrifice what? When God already told us and that we don't have to live the life of the Old Testament. We ain't gotta, like, we think, y'all think sacrifice is just goats and chickens and shit. No, sacrifices it get deeper than animals. It get as deep as your soul. Exactly. You got to read between the lines. People be so dense. They like, oh, goats and chickens. What, bitch? What about your soul? Ciao. Don't get me started, because folks don't be really wanting to talk. Like, I can have these conversations, but then it's like people just don't be thinking as deep. Like, are we reading the same word, or are you just not there yet? And most of the time, people just don't be there yet. So I just don't have these conversations with everybody. Mm, don't get me to lying. I want to look something up though, because this is on my mind. Because somebody needed this, and I did too. What are y'all doing? Are y'all at work? Okay, so I looked it up and I explained it just right. Reverence for God is an attitude of profound awe, respect, and humble submission to the Creator. It balances deep love with the healthy fear of God's majesty. And the only thing I don't agree with is the word fear. Because God tells us that He doesn't give us the spirit of fear at all, but peace, love, and a sound mind. So that whole idea of fearing God and this, and that, and that's the reason why people won't go within and talk to themselves and sit with themselves, because they fear that if they sit in God's presence long enough, that then they're gonna start like, who started that? Because it's not in the word of God. Me and my friend was talking about that last night when she was doing my hair. Like that shit is man-made. Like, no. No. And that's why I will always encourage y'all, read your word for yourself. So when you go into these churches, you're not drawn in by what sounds right or sounds good. You're drawn in by what it is that you read for yourself, and it's in alignment with what God shared with you. I'm telling you. Like, the closest I've ever been to God is when I started reading my word myself. Like, it got to a point to y'all. I remember, I'll never forget, I woke up out my sleep one day because this was like 3 years ago. No, 4 years ago. Damn, it felt like it was just yesterday, but this was literally 4 years ago. And I remember like it was yesterday, but I had a bad ass week. Like, the week was just horrible to me. And I feel like I was more elevated then than and I'm still there now, but I was less tangible with like cards and stuff like that, dealing with less energy. But I was like, God, like, what do I need to do? When I tell you, when I woke up out my sleep, God put a scripture that I had never read a day in my life. He put a scripture on my spirit. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm going to go. So I had my Bible. I used to sleep, and I still sleep with my Bible next to me. Opened up my Bible, went to the scripture that He had gave me, and literally was an answer to what it is I was asking God. And I said, wow, like, that tapped in. And I'm still that tapped in with a few more tools and resources. She said you stole the words out of my mouth. Painting, drawing. Yes, girl, I'm drawing. Working. Okay. Well, y'all, I don't like to spend my last little 10 minutes on my break on live. So I'm going to reserve that time to myself. My little 10 minutes. Yes, I'm going to be stingy with them. Like I always tell y'all, I do. I love y'all. Um, I hope that y'all continue to have a great day. I pray y'all continue to have a great day. Don't let nothing get you out your body, y'all. We got one more day of retrograde. We got through this shit. Hey, it wasn't easy, but here we are. We standing, we good. And before you know it, things gonna be back on a regular schedule program and even better. Okay.